So, I mean, maybe just to fix ideas a little bit, I'll give you like a really just embarrassingly stupid kind of cartoon version of my kind of like rough practical vision. And it's so stupid. It's like completely, not thought out and not impressive, but just to kind of fix ideas a little bit and give us more kind of concretes to debate about. It might be productive and also just kind of funny. I don't imagine some sort of like fascist, like personality cult or anything like that, but it's more like, I mean, my practical model would be something like you just have like 5 or 10 highly successful internet businesses, and maybe that means like getting like people who already have like pretty successful internet businesses or whatever, or you just get together with a bunch of other smart people and you make like a bunch of like agile, simple, relatively easy to automate types of purely digital internet based businesses that are successful and make like a good chunk of money, not like super rich, but you have a few internet businesses that make good money. Maybe you have like a few of them, and then you go somewhere super cheap. You buy like a 20 acres, 30 acres, whatever, just like you said. You buy a house or two with like money from successful functioning commercial enterprises that are location independent, that exist fully in cyberspace. You buy up some land and some houses, and then everyone, like those people, their friends and their family, and maybe a few strangers that they want to take on board according to like the calculations of how many like diverse heterogeneous strangers a community can functionally sustain. And like with the money from like a bunch of like I don't know, internet businesses, you just basically fund like a healthy egalitarian tight-knit cohesive community on like a private plot of land. And then you also do the things you said. I think that's all really smart. Like you also take over the local government, you also take over the zoning laws or whatever. But basically the idea is like you just fund the thing with highly agile and successful internet age income streams that are automated. So you're basically using, this is like, to me, the practical instantiation of the meme about fully automated luxury communism. To me, that if that means anything, it means you fucking learn how to use computers to make money in an easy way, and then you use that money to sustain like a commune, basically. But you do it like in a more functional and effective way. You use everything we know about science, everything we know about human psychology, everything we know about group psychology. You use cutting edge knowledge about permaculture, these things. You use personality science to align people and connect people in optimal ways. You use cutting edge knowledge about how to manage successful relationships, and you engineer an optimal culture in a fairly rigorous and aggressive way. Like you really, everyone has to kind of agree to make this, to optimize for flourishing. And I think when everyone agrees to optimize for flourishing, that means you're going to have some strange rules, and people are going to have to kind of collectively enforce each other in a kind of Rousseauian way. Your people are going to have to kind of force each other to be free. But I think that could be figured out, and in ways that are not really being experimented with, in part because for the people that self-select into building communes, or I think it's fair to say probably like I would wager the community that you're a part of, the people who self-select into these types of ideas and cooperative projects are generally like temperamentally averse to the idea of like, all right, let's start by just like making a shitload of money and then figure out how to use that in like the most aggressive way possible towards the sustaining of communism. So that's, to me, that's my estimate of like where the bottleneck is. Like there's a kind of aversion to the cool-headed like engineering of successful commerce and of optimal culture design and the enforcement that would require. People who want communism are generally like averse to that. And to me, if you can solve that bottleneck, you could really create like a highly functional patch that, once you have some people doing that in a way that's commercially successful, where money is abundant, people are thriving economically and their relationships are thriving, and it's like actual legit communism where like everyone is guaranteed dignified, relatively equalitarian lifestyles. Like if you can engineer that, then it's like, that's when you'd start seeing massive organic defections from the status quo. Like office workers would just be like, fuck this, I'm doing what those people did, So that's my crazy model.
Yes to all of that. Absolutely. I mean, that's a great way to do it, and that's and like I'd want to always remind is that there's no one way to do it, right? So